Everyone who sees this video and hears my words is a living soul. Everyone, bar none. If you see this video and hear my words, you are a living soul. And you have been created by God. That means purpose. There is a purpose. God does things for a reason. And He created man in His image years ago. Before Adam, there was no man. Not one. And Adam became a living soul. He did. And Adam, though his flesh returned to the dust, Adam's soul lived on. And you can tell me that it didn't, and I will tell you that it did. So there we have the first standoff. Adam became a living soul, and I say that his soul lives on. I don't need to prove it. I just make the point. The souls of men and women live on. They just do. Whether they, like it or not. It's just one of those things you have to, you can argue with it if you want to. I mean, I've seen people argue with things before, and they argue with them because they want to. But the dead are going to be raised and judged. And they're going to be judged according to their deeds. They're not going to be judged according to their skin color. They are not going to be judged according to their height. They're not going to be judged according to their weight. They will be judged according to their deeds. And there will be no doubts about it after the judgment. Now, no one has been judged, at this time. I am sure that judgment has not taken place. But God is judging. He's always judged, and He will continue to judge. God is the judge. And if you wanted to say so, He's not just the judge, He's the jury. Yeah. So I think that, that people, living souls, should praise and give thanks to God. I am sure that Eve, when she had a child, she thanked God that she had had a child. And I'm relatively sure, that's because I can't be, really sure, because I've never had a baby. But Eve had a lot of babies. No telling how many babies Eve had. I mean, she might have had them 1, 2, or 3 at a time. I really don't know, and neither do you. But Eve had babies. And her babies got together, and more babies. And those babies got together, and there were more babies. There have been more babies every day. The only time that no babies were born, did you know? I know, when that time was that no babies were born? From the time Noah got into the boat and God shut the door, babies stopped being born. And the water rose. And for a period of months, days, months, a year, no baby was born. And there is no record, to prove that babies were born on the ark or in the boat that Noah had built. No, there's no record of babies being born there. There's no record of any of the animals in the boat producing offspring that whole year. There's only one creator that created heaven and earth. And while these animals and Adam and his family were in the boat, there were no births. God had put an end to birthing for a while. Yes, he had. Now, you can read about the boat and how it, was built, and what happened after the boat and everybody got out of the boat. Everybody got out of the boat. There were 8 bodies. There were a multiple number of animals, 2 of each kind, male and female. And after God got them on the ground again, he blessed them and made it possible for them to reproduce. So animals and people reproduce because God commanded it to be done. And there are still animals and people giving birth all over the world today. And God, the only God, gives life and breath to all of them. I'm I'm standing here under a cedar tree, and as I back up, I can, lift my hands to heaven, and then my eyes too, and I can say, Father, thank you for all of your many blessings. You just saw me do it, didn't you? Father, thank you for all of your many blessings. I did it twice. Twice. Jesus thanked his Father many days. It came to one day that he had to do something that he had never had to do before. And he found it difficult. But to please his Father, he did it. And his words were, Father, not my will be done, but thine. How many of you are willing to look up to heaven and say that to God? I am. I'm willing to do it. I sure am. Father, not interested in my will. I'm interested in your will, Father. That's what every child should say to his father. What can I say? Yesterday was Father's Day. Today is the day after Father's Day. So, on the day after Father's Day, I have come back to the graveyard, and right over there, is the grave of my grandfather and my dad. Their wives are laying beside them, or lying beside them, ever how you want to say it. Right over there. I'm standing under this tree, and I have, said before, and I'll say it again. I do not plan to go to the grave. That means I've got a hope. I've got a living hope. And nobody is going to can take that hope from me. Nope. I may wind up in the grave. I sure might. And somebody will say, well, if you do, it's because God killed you because you opened your mouth and said some things. That's not true. God won't kill me for saying what I've said today. God has assured me, in these last few years. I sure was surprised, when I heard God say some things that he said. Just as I'm sure you were surprised, when you read some things that are written in the Bible. Now, a flood comes, kills everybody. It's kind of hard to imagine. People are out there doing things, and some angels show up in town. A man and his wife and 2 daughters leave town the next morning. And then fire comes down from heaven, destroys everything in the valley, kills every animal, every one of them. Every person. The only place that, it looks like that there's life is in this one little spot where the angels told those 4 people to go that they could be safe. They were given instructions. These things are fixing to happen, and they're going to happen soon. Don't look back until you get to the town designated. Well, folks, there is no, designated town for you or me to run to. Those things happened years ago, as an example. The best thing that any one of us that are alive on the earth today could do would be believe Jesus, believe what he said, and start acting upon his words. Jesus is the one that said and told the people about building houses. Yeah. Everyone builds. And everyone will see the storm. The question is, can you survive the storm? Let not many of you become teachers, because if you do, you will incur a stricter judgment. I consider myself a servant of God, and he told me to preach, and he told me to teach. So if I were to not preach or teach, I would not be fulfilling or doing the will of God. People need to understand that the King that they crucified years ago, it was written, King of the Jews. God is going to have Jesus of Nazareth, a descendant of David, on the throne soon. How soon? Check the days from the day that this video is made, and you will have the number of days as to how soon it came to pass. But just let it be known that I have made it known, and I'll keep making it known. I hope you all are having a wonderful day after Father's Day. I plan to please my Father in heaven, whether it pleases anyone else or not. Yep, that is the truth. And this video has gone well over the 10-minute mark. So I don't know how I will get it on, YouTube. But if I can, I will. If I can't, I won't. We'll find out, because this video is coming to an end now. So that's it. It was 20 minutes. I just couldn't see the numbers.